We are witnessing the most successful power pivot in digital media history. Candace Owens is no longer just a commentator. She is a case study in how to turn a niche audience into an untouchable million-dollar fortress. So, truth used to be objective, and then it was demoted to subjective, and now you can buy it as a subscription service. So Candace Owens has monetized selling someone's truth.
Always been a person on the pursuit of the truth, right? I want to know what the truth is.
But Candace's game is no longer politics anymore. She has new metrics. It's about the conversion of intensity. So maybe you've heard if you make videos that you only need 1,000 true fans to make a living. Well, Candace isn't trying to make a living. She's building a fortress. So the 2% rule is like most creators try to appeal to everybody, right? But Candace only needs 2% of like, let's say her 6 million plus followers to move behind her paywall to fund her living, right? So let's just, hypothetically 100,000 people at $10 a month for a subscription service. And what do you get? Millions upon millions of dollars for this woman to not have to be credible anymore. She can move all her revenue behind a paywall, and then she gets to say whatever she wants. So Candace Owens doesn't just have like 100,000 people. She has like 100,000 plus die-hard fans. That converts into a lot of money. I don't know her expenses. She's probably paying for loads of security at this point in time. And, all of the people behind the scenes. She has got people and people. I know people who know people who know people, right? That's Candace Owens at this point in time. So she just tells her audience, guys, I know the truth. They're trying to silence me. And this is the safe place for you to hear the truth. These people they love it. You feel like an insider. So we have been watching Candace trying to take down Erica Kirk, right? But do you actually look at the numbers on those videos? So I have been doing this for a while now. It's free data. It's amazing the kind of data you can find online. I like to see what people are watching in America. And so I literally look at the numbers at the bottom of the screen and I go, wow. And I noticed this about Candace a while ago. I was following her not because I was necessarily interested in her, but I have watched her entire shift over the past year when she first came out with her show on Candace. She used to be a legitimate journalist. She did. But what I noticed was when she used to have these posts about, let's say when she was trying to take down Blake Lively, I said, I was like, look at this comment section. I said, these people are so engaged. There's millions of people viewing these. I said, what is it? I said, what is it? I said, it's gossip. I said, when she was actually like a woman of integrity and she was doing real journalism, she had people of integrity in her comment section, but it was less. When she moved to taking down people like Baldoni and then Bridget Macron, I said, the gossip section, it was just flying. And then it didn't matter what came out of her mouth. She would just say things. So I think Erica Kirk is the new Blake Lively for her. Why would she pivot to gossip? Because it scales. So what Candace Owens has really essentially shifted into is like an international political gossip columnist. It's actually pretty amazing if you really look at what she's doing. So she takes things that are like really high stakes dramas, like, internal TPA USA beef or like celebrity religion. And it looks like a Hollywood PR drama, but it feels more important to people. They don't feel like they're just, it's just everyday gossip of this person was dating this person. No, she's really taking it up a notch. Now, in the world of AI, you can have all kinds of fakes. And so the truth is now really essentially a luxury product. So she comes out and she says, I have the receipts, but you can make a screenshot very easily of somebody's conversation. You can make AI voiceovers. You can make all kinds of things now. And all the followers care is if it fits the narrative that they want. So remember when Candace was pregnant, because this was something, these are all the things that I was paying attention to when I was watching her. I used to read her comments and anything that flew out of Candace Owens' mouth, you would get these people in the comments, I love pregnant Candace. Pregnant Candace is the best. So it was an identity. So I actually started to watch the people that used to follow Candace. Back when she was more of like, a woman of integrity, a journalist with integrity, I should say, she used to have more of a balance of followers. It was probably like 60-40 or 70-30 leaning male. And now she's really swung the other way, and she probably has about 65 to 70% female followers. So what Candace Owens did is that she followed her following. She catered her content to them, and she is giving them what they want now. The harsh reality of this is for the consumer, it's really just like high stakes reality TV. She's getting rich while destroying another person's or many other people's lives, and her followers' lives are just as boring as they were before. So there's the wealth gap between the influencer and the consumer. So you have this person who's just watching all of this stuff. The follower, they get what? A theory about Charlie Kirk. She gets a career. The other group gets a distraction, and they pay for it. But really what I see is mass tribalism. And tribalism is the ultimate distraction to a boring life and not having friends. Sorry, not sorry. So it gives people a sense of having like an insider status without them ever having to leave their couch. It gives them a sense of community and friends without ever having to meet another person. So you have this group of people who all feel and share the same sentiments. You are in a comment section and everybody's validating one another. You go through her comment section and I said, who are these people? Are these people totally Delulu? I said, you have the whole world around them talking about how she's evil and how she's bringing people down. I said, but these people, these women specifically, are absolutely obsessed with Candace Owens. I said, how can they be so blind? Because she's their voice. And she says it. I speak for the people. They feel like she's their spokesperson, and she really leaned into it. Candace Owens legitimately followed the money. She did. She saw that being really honest probably doesn't pay. But if you can have my truth, which apparently these people want, my truth didn't go anywhere, by the way. But now she's not calling it my truth. She's just calling it the truth because, let's talk about this briefly. I think this is great. Not great as in like good for the world. I just think it's really fascinating. Remember when she used to argue with people about objective truth? And I mean, these people would go hard. There was that one guy, I don't know his name, and she was just like, why can't a person go from black to white or vice versa? But you think that a man can become a woman or a woman can become a man. And he was like, because you just can't become a white person if you're black. And that to him was just like A-okay. The statement was not grounded in any kind of reality, but like he wouldn't budge. And his mind just couldn't wrap his head around the concept that you can't just change chromosomes. But like something like melanin, that was a no-go. Absolutely not. Now, that was the kind of stuff that she was fighting. Now, if you see that people have no integrity and you see that some people are staunch, out of this world, alternate reality people, well, what if she just joined kind of like an alternate reality of people, of diehards? And that's what I think she has going on in her own little world. She has a group of people who live in alternate reality, and they love that she's the spokesperson for them. So that's what has happened on the frontier of social media. What would be great is if we could get some people who actually started some platforms to help people, to not just suck the dollars out of their pockets, but to actually give back. So my brand is built on the idea that people must be formed, not coddled. Being coddled means being told that watching 10 hours of gossip makes you an enlightened warrior, an insider to the truth. Well, I will tell you that that makes you a modern version of a People magazine subscriber. So the most rebellious thing that you can do today is to get off of your phone, your computer. You go outside, make a friend that you talk to, you actually look each other in the eyes. And come on, guys, you only get one life. Stop spending it as a spectator in somebody else's basement drama. Me on the floor, and let's see what you can do. Is it just for show? Say, girl, can that body move? Back up and reverse them.